most important job is to the public and to the parents out here.
Exactly, and that's why we have to go upstairs.
But no.
We have to handle
You can go
that.
upstairs, yes. But guess what? Like I said, not only me, but there were other parents and public out here. That's your most important job. And the next time you jump in front of my face, it may not be so pretty. I may not be a pretty parent.
I would not feel comfortable talking about it. I just want to know.
It's a legal matter. I will say this. I did read at least the response that was published that I saw in the news and that was published by the school administration or the school board. And basically they were asking to dismiss the lawsuit. They were asking for the courts to dismiss the lawsuit, basically saying that it was unfounded or ungrounded. Do you have anything to say to that?
That's what the filing said.
Okay. So
no,
I don't take this personally. I don't take this personally because, like I said, I don't take this personally at all. So, a couple questions about accountability. How does the public know, Baltimore City parents, how can they know or be sure or have some mechanism to measure the accountability that takes place in the school board as it relates to our children being able to read and write, do math, graduate with a credible high school degree that will at least get them into the job market?
There are many ways to do that, so I'm just going to break down a few, but there's lots of steps for each. The easiest way, if you want to see data, if you want to be able to look at a spreadsheet or a document and say every year over year, this is how my school district is performing. The state of Maryland, the Department of Education has, they call it the Maryland Report Card. If you just type right in, it'll pop up and issue one every year. And that compares our data year over year to ourselves and to our peers. And that's a good start. So if you want to see what our graduation rate is compared to what it was before the previous year, or what it is in the future, that's how it is.
So I wasn't talking about the rate per se. I was wondering, my question was, how can parents know and be assured that the kids that you all are graduating, that degree, that high school diploma means something? Because what a lot of parents are feeling and thinking, and rightfully so, that it's worthless. How can our Baltimore City students, the name on this building, Miss Pender Hughes, she was superintendent when I was in public school and elementary school. I think right now she would be rolling over in her grave. She would be literally rolling, that's what I think. Miss Pender Hughes, there was a credible system. It was reliable. We went to school. We were taught to read, write, do math. That's why I'm here talking to you now, because the teachers I had back then said, go to the people who are in charge and ask them questions. I grew up in Baltimore City, born and raised Baltimore City public high schools, public school system, period. But the parents and the people that I know in Baltimore City today, I'm still a homeowner, a taxpayer in Baltimore City, they have almost no reason to believe that their students are being educated and will be able to leave these doors, these school systems, and get even a basic level job. They can't even fill out applications, as one of the members saying out there.
I can't speak to his experience.
Okay.
But I can tell you what happens. When any student in the state of Maryland, first of all, graduates from school, they don't do it based on our standards. They do it on the state of Maryland. So they're not just proving.
But you are administering that. You're supposed to be administering that, right?
Everybody.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. And what I'm saying is, yes, it's our job to help the students earn those credits that they're required to earn and to meet the standards set forth by Maryland. And then those students take assessments and they take other means, which are also used to judge if they are ready. And if if a student is not able to meet those, then you don't get a diploma. But your diploma is not, a student's individual diploma is based on their individual performance over time. I feel like sometimes, and this is just my experience having done this type of work for a long time in other places, to say a diploma is worthless is not fair, because you're looking at, in this year alone, we're going to graduate more than, I believe, 3,200.
But what does it mean when they graduate?
It means
if they can't read or write, and they can't do basic math, what does it mean?
It would be nearly impossible for a student in this day and age, with the accountability measures that we're required to have by state law, and the ones we just simply choose to have, because we test our kids a lot.
Okay.
It would be nearly I'm not going to say it's impossible because I can't speak in absolute.
Everybody in this building, and I know I'm grossly generalizing, I hear that, but I'm just saying everybody in this building gets their paycheck every 2 weeks on time. I'm just whatever $100,000 or and up, give or take. You all have a responsibility, not only a legal responsibility, not only a state of Maryland responsibility, you have a moral responsibility to administer and make sure our students are able to read, write, do math, do basic thinking, critical thinking when they leave this school system.
Because this is a part that's really passionate to me.
Okay.
And I want to be clear. The person who's speaking to you now is André Riley or
Okay.
André Riley's thoughts. I'm not speaking in my official
That's
capacity.
fine.
We are not monsters. We care about, we have more than 10,000 people who show up, rain, sleet, snow, no matter what they're going on, when their kids have COVID, when their children are sick, when they have feelings. We care about these children. I know folks look at us and they see jobs, and they see people who are earning a living, and they see an imperfect school district that is struggling. And you have every right to challenge us and to question us and to demand that we educate your students with a great deal of effort, and that you get the outcomes so every one of those kids that succeed in math.
I don't take it that way.
I'm sorry,
I don't take it
but
personally.
just be. Sometimes I can find that could be.
I understand passion. I have a lot of.
Yes, but we are not monsters. I stay here to 7 o'clock at night, and I see people with me in this building, just trying to get ahead. Even when we have not had the historical
Well, let me ask you this.
that our peers
Just your thoughts as Mr. Andre. What do you think the disconnect is? Because you have a whole lot of parents out here in Baltimore City who don't think that what you're saying is true. So what is the disconnect? What am I missing? What are they missing?
Here's what you're missing.
Okay.
Trust. And trust is built on outcomes. It's one thing for Andre to tell you, we care about these kids. And what you're looking at me and what many of our parents are saying is, but I know this student over here, and what you're telling me, and I want to believe you. But his outcomes ain't that.
So why should we trust you then?
You know, that is just an honest question. I would love to tell you that watch us work and see our passion, but in the end, the only thing that matters in life ultimately is results. That's why the CEO pushes us so hard, and that's why we push ourselves so hard. But when you're asking me can I give you that trust? Without trust is it's a result of
because
action.
you're asking us parents to trust you with their most valuable, precious gift.
You are right. You are right. Yes, and you're talking to a father of 4.
Okay.
Who goes through the same thing. Who's raised by an educator. We understand the depth of that responsibility. And we understand what happens when we are perceived to not meet that responsibility. That's how you can have that gentleman outside who is obviously very passionate. He was very passionate about how he felt. That's where that comes from. That's where it comes from. When you see me in public, I ain't gonna wait. You look like you know stuff. Andre, you can talk to them, talk to me. And I'm glad you. I mean, it didn't go really. It's kindly as I live life.
I don't worry about that. I'm not worried about this lady coming in. I'm not worried about that. I don't need to
sorry.
This lady knows what his schedule is, and we do have jobs and we do have responsibilities.
But your most important job is to the public and to the parents.
Yes,
out here.
Exactly, and that's why we have to go upstairs.
But no.
We have to handle
You can go
this.
upstairs, yes. But guess what? Like I said, not only me, but there were other parents in public out here. That's your most important job. And the next time you jump in front of my face, it may not be so pretty. I may not be a pretty parent. I'm not talking about that. I thought it was rude. Let me finish. I'm not threatening her. I thought it was rude what she did. No, please don't placate me like that. Don't placate me like that. Don't placate me like that. I thought it was rude. But anyway, back to you.
But what can I? Here's what I can suggest, and there are a couple of things I would like you to do because you want to be heard, and you need to be heard. The best thing I suggest for anybody is to log into our school board meeting.
No.
I mean,
okay, go ahead. Okay, I know you have to say that, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, I always tell because that's where the board is.
Okay.
Short of you finding them in public or just stumbling upon individual board members, and I don't know where they're at. They have their lives. We are going to be hosting more community meetings and places where you step to the mic.
Yeah.
We have
What about in times that are accessible to most parents? Because you have the board meetings at 3, 4, 5 o'clock. Most parents.
The board meetings they start at 5:30.
No, I'm saying, but people are coming home from work at that time.
It is.
So what about later times or different times, things like the different days, so that parents can actually participate and not have to deal with traffic? 5 o'clock, 5:30 is rush hour. We know that. So you have the board meeting, not you personally, at the most inconvenient of times, where people cannot join in because they're trying to make a living to support their families, to send them to schools that are getting less than substandard or substandard results.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right.
Go ahead.
If you need to find me,
Okay.
I'm on the website.
Okay.
My phone number's on there. My email's on there.
Okay.
Seriously, call
All
me
right.
anytime. Okay.
All right. Have
And
a
if
great
you know
day.
somebody else who needs something,
All right, have a great day.